Oh, hello there. It's the 7th of May 2020, and here you are with Dan in Essex, UK. So, some of you may be aware that I'm running a melon project here, and one of my viewers has asked for an update. So, here is the update video. Right, these are the melons I am indeed growing. I'll let you have a look at them in the tray here in their entirety. So we'll go from left to right. Now, bitter melons. These are, as what they say they are, a bitter melon, and very, very nice, and they're said to have beneficial properties for those with diabetes. So there we are. 5 desserts. What we got here? Sweet Granite, Petit Gris de Ros, and Blacktail Mountain. So these are a watermelon. So some of you may be aware that I've had success with growing watermelons here in the UK. I haven't achieved success in recent years with these, but a few years ago I did it, and there is a playlist on my channel if you're interested, if you wish to see that. So there we go. Now, so these bitter melons, I've found when growing melons that I've had more success getting a crop from bitter melons than I have other melons, if you can get the seeds to germinate. So if growing bitter melons, what I advise people to do is to get as many seeds from as many different varieties of sources as you can. That way you're more likely to get a more reliable germination rate. So if you get them from, say, 5 different sources and you get one lot that germinate, that's great, and they crop prolifically. Okay, I'm going to link some videos down below with regards to this video so you can see what can be achieved here in the UK with the right degree of thought and a little bit of good luck, to be honest, particularly with regards to the weather. So when one is growing melons here in the UK, it's generally advised to grow them under cover. Okay, there are some varieties that you can have success with outside in the open ground, but generally if you're going to grow melons and you want a higher success rate, you know, a polytunnel greenhouse cold frame, or at the very least a south facing wall or fence for that extra warmth and microclimate is advisable. Okay, so many different varieties about. Now, with regards to germinating these, they are in standard multi-purpose compost, okay? Nothing else added to it, and I haven't fed them at all. I'll link the video down below where I sowed these, and it's probably about a month ago, something like that, so check that video out if you're interested. So, when they were germinating, I was watering them with tepid water, okay? You don't want to be shocking them with, using cold water, all right? Particularly when they are small, because the seeds are quite sensitive. And if you think where melons would typically, grow, it tends to be a warmer country, okay? Now, what I'm doing is watering them just with water from the water butt, like I would any other plant. But of course, we've had warm weather recently, and the water will not be really, really cold like it is, say, in the middle of winter. So there we are. So when you're germinating melons, use tepid water if indeed you can, and ideally rainwater. Now, I'm in no rush to plant these, so I'm going to be growing them in the polytunnel, probably in containers. Okay, that way I'll be able to maybe move them about a little bit if I change my mind. But melons in general don't like to go below about 20 degrees C, which is about 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And if they go cooler than that, then the plants can grow slowly, stop growing at all, and delay the crop, give a weaker crop. So they certainly do need the extra warmth, okay? Now, pollination can be an issue, particularly with things that are not self-fertile. So we'll be talking a little bit more about that as the project progresses. But what I did do before when pollinating them was you take the male flower, that can be identified as when the plant puts out its flowers, the one that hasn't got the little fruit behind the flower. The female one will have the little fruit behind the flower. You take the male flower and then you rub the pollen from that onto a female flower, and that can help to fertilise, pollinate, whatever you want to call it, okay? Now, of course, if they're growing outside, or if you've got the polytunnel or greenhouse door open, bees can get in. But I would advise people when growing melons that are not self-fertile to, give them a helping hand with pollination. So, what level of success am I expecting with this project? Well, I'm expecting a lot of success from the bitter melons, going from experience, very heavy croppers, once you can get them to germinate like that. And so I've got about, I don't know, so there's, how many have we got here? So there's 5 of these 5 desserts. Sweet Granite, there's 2 germinated. Petit Gris de Roth 3, and Blacktail Mountain 5. So, you know, I'd love to get at least, I'm going to keep my expectations realistic. If I can get, say, you know, out of all of, excluding the bitter melons, out of these 4 varieties, you know, if I can get 4 melons, you know, one melon from each variety, I will be happy with that. So yes, stay tuned as, look at them grapes, look, goodness gracious, getting bigger every day, the bunches, aren't they? Yes, so stay tuned as long as, you know, if you want to see how this project pans out, okay? I'm going to link a selection of videos down below which you may be interested in if you want to wet your whistle with regards to growing melons here in the UK. I hope to duplicate my success, but we'll see. Okay, if you like my work, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and as always, you can check me out on Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram if indeed you are interested. See you next time.